Can go the other way, too. He's got to be careful and get it up.
On the way. No, return by Chris Davis. Davis goes left. Davis gets a block. Davis has another block.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? This is the very first episode of CNT Talking Tigers, and we're so glad that you are with us for this episode. Hey, I'm Courtney Chandler. I'm joined by my man Toney Milford here, and we are so excited to talk about Auburn football. Toney, man, what is going on? This is our first time. For y'all that don't know, this is me and Toney's actually first time meeting through Zoom. We've been talking over the phone for the past couple months. So, Toney, man, what's going on?
Man, not much, Courtney, man. Just excited to have another avenue to talk about Auburn football and just give fans a different perspective, more of a fan's perspective on Auburn football, because that's exactly what we are. Just two college football fans, two big Auburn football fans, and we just trying to put our minds together and talk about some football, man. It's just excited to have football on the horizon, man, and just to know that the stadiums are going to be filled again and it's going to really feel like football.
Yes. I know I've been missing, I think all of us have been missing that aspect of the college football experience. I know we had it last year, but it was cool, but it wasn't what we was used to. So to know that we're going to go into 2021, the stadium's going to be packed. Hopefully we'll have tailgating. It'll be like old times, and I'm so excited because that it's just that feeling when you walk on the campus and you see all these fans going to the stadium and they hype, and then once you get in the game, you sit down and you cheer your team on, which is our team, the Auburn Tigers. I tell everybody it's nothing like going to an Auburn football game. It's just a different experience. You have to experience it to understand, how it is, because it's magical. It really is.
Man. Especially if it's a real good game.
Yes.
And it's going back and forth, and you don't know what, man. Hey, Jordan Hare rocks. It rocks. It's an electrifying atmosphere to be in.
Right.
Real fun, man. Slapping five with people that you really might have never even seen before, but hey, you kindle spirits with that orange and blue on.
Right. Everybody connected to that orange and blue and that War Eagle. And we all connected. We all family through that. But man, hey, first, before we get in, we got to tell people about ourselves, because I want people to know who we are before they be like, man, what they going on? We don't even know who they are. So, man, Toney, tell us about yourself. Like, tell us what you do. Man, this ain't your first show. You actually done shows before. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, yeah, I'm Toney Milford, man. I'm in Millbrook, Alabama. I played a little college football at Miles College in Fairfield, Alabama. Shout out to the Golden Bears. Uh, and right now, man, I'm a car salesman. So if anybody's looking for a car, come down to Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Prattville, Alabama for price sales cars. And holler at your boy Toney. But I'm a single dad of three, man. I'm a avid sports fan, love football. You're right. I have done a couple of talk radio shows with my man Darius Rice, who is the nephew of the GOAT Jerry Rice. A couple of ESPN talking sports shows down in Mississippi in the Jackson area. So I did a couple of guest spots with him. You know what I'm saying, on the ESPN affiliate. So it wouldn't be my first time talking sports on air to a multitude of people. But in this manner, this is my first time doing it, and excited to be doing it with my guy Courtney, man.
Hey man, hey, I'm excited too, man. When I was looking for people and when you was telling me, all this, I was like, man, this the man right here. And you hit it on the head when you said, hey, I'm an Auburn football fan, and I remember that time we was talking about just the expectations over the phone, and I was like, oh yeah, like I said, Toney is that dude.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, well, I'll tell a little bit about myself. I'm Courtney Chandler. I currently live right here in Montgomery, Alabama. For those who don't know, I'm pretty sure people who are watching, I am a reporter / anchor for WSFA 12 News here in Montgomery. Been here almost a year. It'll be a year in August. Besides, outside of doing my day job, I do have two podcasts, Young, Bold, and Free, with my sister from church, Ashley Harvey. And then I also have my own podcast, I Am Courtney Chandler podcast, which you can both check those out on Apple Podcasts and on SoundCloud. As far as Auburn football, I've been an Auburn football fan all my life. That's the only team that I have always cheered for, even though I didn't go to Auburn. I went to Troy University. Class of 2015, fall 2015 to be exact. So didn't go to Auburn, but I always have been an Auburn diehard football fan my entire life. And to have a platform as a fan to talk about Auburn football, man, I'm excited. This is an opportunity and a chance I've been, looking forward to for a while. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. So now that we got, the protocol out the way, let's jump into the episode. We're gonna hit on a lot of things, and I think the first thing we both have to hit on is the Harsin hire. We do have a new coach, Coach Brian Harsin. He originally comes from Boise State, had a pretty good record there at Boise State, as I would say. He had a really strong record at Boise State. Now he's taking all his talents to the Plains here in Auburn, Alabama. And it was a surprise for many of us. I would say, many of us didn't have him on the radar. But he's here. He's here. So we got to talk about this first. So, Toney, what was your first reaction when you heard Coach Harsin was our new coach for Auburn football?
I must admit, when I heard the new coach was Brian Harsin from Boise State, first thing I said was, I talked to my brother, who is one of the biggest Auburn football fans I know. I mean, anyway, he loves his Auburn football. And the first thing I told him was, I like it. I like it. It was an outside the box hire. It was off the radar. It wasn't we didn't play the name game when we went and got our new coach. I like the way the athletic director, Alan, I like the way Green approached it. He went and got what he wanted. Mm-hmm. He wasn't heavily. This hire doesn't seem to be heavily influenced by the Auburn powers that be. The outside Auburn influence. Right. It didn't seem to play a hand in this hire, because this is not a hire they would have made. This wasn't about name. This was about game. And Alan Green saw something in Brian Harsin that I think I see also. And I thought it was a real good I thought it was a solid home run hire. I really do. I know it didn't. The name didn't ring bells. You know what I'm saying? Across, maybe the average football fan, even the average Auburn fan. But man, I felt like I felt. Only thing I said was my only thing was, all right, this is a good hire. Brian Harsin is a good hire. That's a real solid football coach. He's young. He's young enough to come and set groundwork and a foundation at Auburn for him to be here for a long, extended period of time, so we can get a name associated with our school like Pat Dye. You know what I mean? In the mode of Steve Spurrier at Florida, Mac Brown at Texas, even Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech, like that. We have somebody that's going to be associated with Auburn for a long time to come. And my only thing was, what's the staff going to look like? Who's he going to put around him?
Yeah.
What are those recruiters going to look like? And I think he did a real good. He's every move he's made so far with me, I like.
Yeah, I would have to agree. When I first heard about the hire, I was kind of like, Brian Harsin. I didn't know a lot about him, but when I was starting to look, I was kind of like you. I was like, man, Alan Green, big shout out to him, because we all know, and we just gonna be real with it. Every Auburn coach has to go through this anonymous circle of boosters that we don't know. As fans, we don't really know who they are, but they all have to, report and go by these boosters before they hires the head coach. And Alan Green's like, nah, I'm gonna get my guy. And I have to give big respects to that, because that was totally like left field, and nobody was expecting him just be like, I'm gonna just put his foot down and be like, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out my way.
I'm gonna go out on my way,
right?
Because I understand he didn't fold to the Yellowwood man. He didn't fold to the Old Bank man. He didn't fold. No, he stood firm, and he reached out. And I think everybody involved with Auburn and the Auburn family is gonna appreciate that Alan Green stance,
right,
for years to come.
Yeah, and it's already kind of I think showing, because I was, like you said, with Harsin, he came in the door working, and I had so much respect for that. Like, it wasn't like I'm just gonna watch. He came in the door, evaluating things. Okay, this is what we need, and he didn't do what most coaches immediately do and just start just hiring people. He took his time and found the right people for the team, and I really appreciate that. And like you talked about the coaches, like this picking up a Coach Bobo, or a Coach Mason, or a Zach Eltridge, or keeping Cadillac. Coach, like, he took his time in developing his staff, and he wasn't trying to just rush and to say, man, I'm just getting people to have names out there. It's like, no, everybody he got, it's a fit, and it's a reason why he picked them. And like I said, like, I'm starting to like him even more, because it's like everything is just like meshing, and that's how it's supposed to be. And I don't think we have seen that in a while, with Auburn. Just everything like this coming together as it's supposed to be. It's like, I'm so used to seeing stuff that's thrown together. It's like, well, we're not going through the process, right? We're just throwing stuff together to make people happy. But
man, I think this is going to be one time, for the first time in a long time at Auburn, that we'll be equally yoked on both sides of the ball due to the coaching staff. Like, it's either been the offense is going to carry us and the defense is all right, or the defense is tremendous and the offense is ho hum. Because I remember those years with Brandon Cox at quarterback. But God, boy, we were just happy to score 19, 20. We were just happy to score 18, 21 points, 24 points. But the defense would be a little more tremendous. And then we had runs where our offense was like 1 year it really came together. Everything was kind of balanced. That undefeated season, the Tuberville, Jason Campbell, Cadillac, Ronnie Brown, Carlos Rogers and them boys on defense, then Terrius Thomas, those guys, man, we were really balanced, and that's what it looked like. But now with Harsin, man, one of the biggest hires that I appreciated coming from with Harsin was that Will Friend hire, man. I think that was an excellent hire, man. That's if one thing we have been lacking at Auburn under the Gus regime is quality offensive line play. It's been an afterthought, I guess, with Gus. We've had good coaches. We've had good offensive line coaches, but we haven't always had good offensive line talent. I don't think we put a lot into it. I think that's going to change with Will Friend, man. I mean, he's already paid dividends with the guys that he pulled in towards the end of this class, and the guys that we've already got committed for the next class, and the guys that we've got lined up for even the class after that.
Right.
Great hire, Mike Bobo, man. Oh my God, that was huge because that gave me an idea of the direction of the offense. We're gonna have spread principles, but it's gonna be more of a run game, more of a downhill action in your face, a lot of play action, a little bit. Bobo's gonna make things a lot better on the plains as far as offense. He's gonna expand Tank's game tremendously. Cornelius Williams working with the wide receivers. Our wide receiver play has been average to mediocre at best. But it really wasn't more so. It really probably wasn't our guys' fault for as much as the coaching and the style of the offense. There weren't a lot of route combinations. It was you run a curl, you run a slant, you run a hook, you go deep. That's it. And of course, Cadillac still being there. That's great for all our backs. You know what I'm saying? Especially Tank and everybody that falls behind him, man. I'm really excited with the offense because it's gonna be totally different from what we're used to.
Right.
I guarantee there won't be complaints if we only have four to six plays. I know that won't be an issue. And to step over the defense side of the ball, that Derek Mason hire was a home run hire.
Yes.
To get a defensive mind of that caliber, former head coach with ties that go from the SEC all the way across the country to the Pac-12, that's gonna pay dividends in recruiting. Stanford was always one of the best run stopping defenses in the country. When Derek Mason was out there, they got pressure on the quarterback, which we're gonna need to do. Burt Watts, our outside linebacker coach, is gonna be a very important coach this year to add pressure because we haven't really gotten a lot of pressure on the quarterback the last few years.
Right.
Outside of our interior guys because they were so outstanding with Marlon and Derek Brown. Like there's gonna be an uptick in everything. It won't be much fall off from the defensive line play with Nick Eason coming in. I'm real impressed with him. Jeff Schmeddon is our linebacker coach. Gonna be tough downhill guys, man. I'm just really excited. I'm excited to see what Zach can do with the DBs and the corners and everything, man. Because we have some really good guys in that secondary, man. Some guys that are physical, that are fast,
Right.
that are press guys. We got some guys that are sticky back there, man. So I'm just really excited with this new staff to see the development, man, because we have really lacked development of our players over the last few years. Now Rodney Garner and Kevin Steele, those guys did a great job. T. Will, those guys did a great job, man. I can't knock them. They did a great job with our defense over the last few years. But I think there's room for improvement. We can go up a tick, man. We can make plays in the backfield on defense and on the back end. We don't have to be one or the other. We shouldn't have to sacrifice one for another. I think Auburn is in position with this coaching staff. With Harsin coming in, tough nose, all about working. Man, I think the future is really bright. So I was really impressed with the Harsin hire, and I was even more impressed with the staff that he put together. He brought some guys from Boise that maybe we weren't too familiar with in this portion of the country, but what they did worked. It worked, and if it can work with those guys that you had out there, if you come down here and it can work with even better talent, you'll even yield even better results. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, and Toney, we saw the first preview of what I guess our team would look like with the new coaching staff just 3 weeks ago with A-Day. Me and you had a chance, this kind of talk about, what we saw. And, I know my expectations, I'll just start off. My expectations for A-Day, they weren't, super, high because I knew we were still going through that transition. So I was like, I kind of knew that it was going to be a slow moving process. I didn't expect us to see, like, when we had the Cam Newton A-Days, like, oh, these boys going to be something like for real. I knew it's going to be, kind of slow processing. And, from what I saw, I was like, they got to be, I thought, from what I saw as far as, the team, coming in under, the new staff and learning, I thought it was good. I think the takeaway from it, like you said, the defense looks good, like really, really good. And which I don't have a lot of concern about the defense. The concerning part is the offense, which we all kind of knew. I did see some good things. Of course, Tank, as always, a beast. I think Tank is gonna have a really, really breakout year this year, bearing injury. And the other big thing was Bo Nix, who is projected to be the starting quarterback. We don't know. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But from what I saw, he did decent. I mean, I can still tell he's learning the offense. But the plays that he did run and he did do, I mean, they were pretty good. The only thing I didn't like is I think it was like a goal line play, and he did something where he was running and it was like a trick play. And I was like, I've seen this from Bo before. I was like, I don't really want to see this, Bo be doing trick plays at spring game. I want to see how he's going to adjust in the offense. So I think from what we're seeing, what we saw at the spring game, I don't know. I've been watching and seeing a lot of blogs. People have been killing Harsin about the spring game, which I was like, y'all had your expectations way too high going into the spring game when we were going through a new staff. But just looking at it, I can see that they are learning, but I can also see I can see a lot of progression. I don't, like, even on offense, like I saw the tight end set, I saw them actually throwing the tight ends, which I wasn't used to with Gus Malzahn.
First play of the game, tight end caught a pass.
Exactly. So it's like we're going into a new direction, and it looks good. And like I said, I wasn't expecting to see just something spectacular, but I was expecting to see some progress, and it's looking like the team is progressing, but they are still learning. So what did you see?
We're moving into modernized football. You saw, like, I mean, just man, it was such a joy to see the tight end catch a pass. Wide receivers get involved. Bo, I really had high hopes for Bo, like, coming in. I thought maybe by this year right here, his third year, I thought, Bo might, make the transition into getting some Heisman talk after his junior year. He might be ready, but
right.
I don't know, man. I mean, going to his third year, this could be his breakout year. Bo could come out there and just, bust it wide open and just finally, turn into the Bo Nix that people, were expecting, people that remember him from high school. Or
right.
he could be what he is, But I tell you what, we'll just keep the A-Day right now. We'll talk about everything later. As far as A-Day goes, I don't know, but Bo didn't look as crisp as I might have wanted, The offensive line is still a work in progress. The defense seems to be ahead of the offense, which is sometimes mostly the case in situations like this. It's easier to go attack the football than it is to get your plays and your timing down. So I'll give him a pass on that. Demetrius Davis looked good. He was only in there for he only maybe threw like 3 passes, but yeah, he was 2 for 3, 48 yards. Not bad at all. Not too impressed with any of the other quarterbacks. I put it that way.
Yeah.
Uh, we have one of the best running backs in the nation
Right.
with Tank Bigsby.
Hands down.
As a true sophomore, he is definitely top 5, if not no doubt top 10 running back in the country.
Right.
And excuse me, his versatility with catching the ball out of the backfield. 1-2-3 with that fumble. 1-2-3 with that
Yeah.
fumble in there. You got to protect that ball in traffic, but that also was a good play on our end too. But I mean, there's going to be defenders in the game that's going to, you know what I'm saying. So we need to hold on to that ball. Sean Shivers, really like that cat. Really like that cat. Like to get him involved, get him the ball. Devin Barrett didn't look too bad, so it'll be good because we don't want to just run Tank to the ground. We want to keep him fresh for, you know what I'm saying, close the half out, close the game out, fourth quarter. So it's good that Sean and Devin can get in and give him some spill, give him a break. And even Bo ran pretty good in the A-Day game. I'll give him that, no doubt. Bo ran pretty good in the A-Day game. As far as our receiver core, Elijah Cannon had a big game.
Right.
Scored a touchdown. He caught the most passes. He had the most yards. So that's probably something that's going to be moving forward. Something we can look out for. Javarius Johnson, little man's gonna be something to deal with. So I like the way the different forms of getting him the ball. I'm excited about that. We had a couple other guys, Malcolm Johnson Jr. He looks like he's going to be. We have some young receivers that have to come up and make a name for themselves. That flashed a little bit during the A-Day game.
Right.
Of course, Tyler From, the tight end. We got some nice size, some nice bodies. But like I said, the defense looked really good. Trey Elston, he was out there making plays. Jacoby made a lot of plays. Kobe had a good game, couple of tackles for loss. We had some young guys making plays, man. Kobe Wooden had a sack. Derek Hall had a sack. Caleb Johnson had a sack. So I like the aggressiveness from our defense. I like the fact that we're able to get pressure. I like those guys. That 3-4 look is going to work for some of our guys standing up, rushing that quarterback. It's going to be excellent. All in all, like I said, the defense looked really good in the spring. The offense, we had some things that looked good. I'm excited about the young receiving core. Bo still hasn't worked, but that's what the summer camp is for. And then, I think we have the right coaches moving forward that can get our guys, develop in the right direction. And like I said, the defense, I was extremely happy with the defense. Tank's going to be Tank. I liked him. The offensive line got a little work to do, but that was expected. I like our young receivers. They look like they're going to give us some juice, and hopefully Bo can continue, can progress and be the Bo Nix that we want. If not, hey, we have options.
And I'm glad you said that because that's a good way to go into the next segment. With what we're seeing, I guess with the new staff, we're seeing transfers, and we've seen a lot of transfers leave Auburn, but we also have had a good bit of transfers come to Auburn. 24/7 I counted 7 transfers. Now it might be more still on the way. But I think the most intriguing one, I think, Toney, you said it as far as Bo, was this past week, we picked up TJ Finley. And we got to talk about this because this was I was like, okay, this is interesting. because one, I didn't expect him. I expected him to lead LSU because I already kind of saw the writing on the wall at the end of the season, but I didn't expect him to come to Auburn. I expected him to go somewhere kind of closer to home. But this is very good, and it's also very interesting. And I want to let you start off with this one, Toney. I know we talked about this last week, and it was like, yeah, this is quite interesting.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it almost seemed like, you know, when a new coaching staff and a general manager get to the NFL, like a new NFL team gets a new coach, new head coach, new general manager, first thing they look at, you know, the quarterback. And if the quarterback's not, you know, if it's not Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, guys like that, they always say, well, you know, we didn't bring that guy in. That's not our guy.
Right.
You know, we'll get our own guy. Well, they kept Demetrius Davis. So they made sure, you know, he stayed. And they might have looked at Bo as like, Bo's not our guy. We didn't bring Bo in. Now, I'm not 100% positive on how the transfer portal works, but there has to be some type of communication between player and coaching staff. Because you just can't say, hey, I'm just going to go to Auburn.
Right.
So I think there had to be a little recruiting done in that portal conversation with, and so that leads me to believe.
Hey, Toney, you put yourself on mute, man.
With just Bo and Demetrius. So they look at a young guy who played under some strenuous circumstances, who made some nice plays, who played some good football. Maybe. I'm not speaking for the coaches, but I'm just, you know, guessing that maybe they thought TJ Finley fit what we want to do at Auburn now. Maybe he fits a little better than what Bo does. Now Bo's our starter, but we're gonna bring this boy in this summer camp, and he's gonna have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm quite sure he talked about, I want to play, I want to change, and I'm quite sure somebody told him, "Oh, you have a change." And hopefully, if everything is equal, we come out the best quarterback starting that first game possible. And I wouldn't be mad. I'm not gonna be mad if any one of the three are the quarterback, because I really believe that this staff is gonna play the best quarterback.
Right.
So I understand both. Patrick Nix was an Auburn guy, but hey, that don't fly around here with Hartson. You know what I mean?
Right. It was like Harsin was like, he came in, he said he saw Finley out there, and he reached out to him. He's like, hey, it almost like Harsin's like, I'm ready to win now. Like, and if I can do it with Finley, if I can do it with Bo, cool. But if I can't do it with Bo, man, I'm gonna get Finley. So it's like, all right, hey. And cause when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is gonna be very, very interesting. Cause I mean, TJ Finley, I mean, like you said, he played well last year in LSU. He, you know, played under some extreme circumstances. As far as LSU, I know a lot of players, you know, opted out. You had Jamar Chase. He didn't play the entire season, and then Terrence Marshall, I think, opted out kind of in the middle of the season. So he had to play under some kind of extreme circumstances there. But he did play fairly well. I mean, he had some good games, and you know, he played as kind of as what a normal freshman would play. And I remember him playing against us, and I know that was kind of like the first time he maybe experienced like a real defense, and I think he was just like, oh, okay. But he didn't play bad. So it's like he's not a bad quarterback, man. But like I said, it's like Harsin coming in. He's like, who is I can win with Bo, then I'm gonna win with Bo. As I can win with Finley, then I'm sorry, Bo, but yeah, we just ain't gonna be able to do it with you. So I think it was definitely an interesting move, but like you said, I think they know what's best for the team. I love that I also love that they having a competition. You know, I don't think Auburn had a true quarterback competition in a while. So it's like, man, put some heat on Bo. Make him want to take the job. So it's good. But a lot of we had TJ Finney was the only transfer portal or player to transfer to Auburn. We also had a couple more. I'm kind of hopefully I can get the list right. I got it pulled up right here. We had Marcus Harris, who's a defensive lineman. He's coming from Kansas. We had Jordan Ingram. He is a running back. He coming from I think it's Central Michigan. Of course, we just talked about TJ Finley from LSU, of course, quarterback. Then we had Toney Fair. He is a defensive lineman. He's coming from UAB. And
yeah, now he should be a helper. Especially if we run 3-man fronts, man. He's a good run plug. He's a old stuff. Good one technique. I like him.
Right. I think I hope I got his name right. Bidarius Knighton. He's a safety. And
the boy from the school right here up the road.
Right. Oh God, what's the name of it? Hold on. I'm clicking on him now. I had the list in front of me. God, what's the name of the school? All I got is some logo. It's a logo of Southeast Missouri.
Yeah, SEMO, the boy from SEMO.
Yeah. So we got him, and just then, this went away. I'm pulling it back up. We got Donovan Kaufman, safety coming from Vanderbilt. The sound,
yeah.
Derek Mason pulled.
That's that Derek Mason juice right there.
That's Derek Mason all day. Deshaun Miller, he come from West Virginia, and
he's gonna play. He's gonna be playing.
Yeah, I was looking him up. Like this, Deshaun Miller, nice. Like I was like, yo, like he is a dog.
Yeah, he's gonna be a player, man. Him and the Kaufman kid from Vanderbilt, some guys this summer, man. They better. That DB room is gonna be full, boy, and it's gonna be tough. Boy.
Yeah.
Them 4 to 5 guys that are out there, they earn that. And man, we already got 2-3 corners, man. That's busting out the bando anyway.
Woo! It's gonna be nasty on defense. It's gonna be nasty. They got Christian Tutt on here. I know at one point he was talking about leaving from Auburn. He did, but he didn't say he leaving. He came back, so they got him on the list. We know who we seen Christian Tutt. So he's still at Auburn. And Andre,
I don't know what to say about Christian Tutt.
He can't make up his mind.
We got bodies. We ain't worried about it. You want to go?
Right. And then we got I think the last one was Andre Leota from Northwestern on the edge. So
yeah. I like that one too, man. I really like that one. That's a big pickup right now.
Yeah. I remember Harsin talking about that one. So, hey man, we got some pretty strong transfers coming in, and I mean defense. I mean, oh my God, like the DB room, man. I don't see like we already had good DBs, but the ones that's coming in, I mean, it's gonna be
just add fuel to the fire, man. Room full of dogs.
Right.
That secondary is gonna be the strong suit of the defense. So them boys can get a little pressure.
Right.
It's gonna be a long night.
Oh
But
yeah.
if we can set up second, if we can keep them in second and long, third and longs, man, I just want to see how that front seven come together. If that front seven come together like we hoped it, we wanted to. I know that back. Shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, now we at the end of the show, and as we end this show, the last thing we want to talk about is as we're heading into summer practice, as we begin this new season, which will start very, very soon. But we first got to get through summer practice. So our expectations for summer practice as we will soon be approaching it. So Toney, what's your expectations? What do you hope to see as we go into summer practice?
Going into the summer, man, I really want to come out of summer camp knowing that my offensive line is strong. It's a strength. A couple of years ago, I told my brother. I talked to my brother about Auburn. Like I said, he's one of the biggest Auburn fans I know. Shout out to my brother Dwayne. I told him Auburn's secondary would be better through addition by subtraction. We had like Nico Thorpe, Chris Davis, now them boys terrible compared to most SEC secondary. You know what I'm saying? Of course they're better than the average Joe. They were playing Division I football, but man, them boys terrible.
Right.
We used to get roasted and toasted with them boys in the secondary, and they leave, and boom, the secondary was just better just because the young boys behind them they were better. Our offensive line, I hope it kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? But I think with better coaching, few additions, those guys played together a lot last year. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that experience come together. I want the offensive line to be a big strength of ours coming out of this summer. I want the quarterback. Hopefully, the quarterback situation solidifies itself. I feel like the best man will win because I think everybody will be given an opportunity. So I'm looking out. I want to come out of summer camp healthy. I want to come out with an established identity, especially on offense. And just look for our guys to get bigger and better, man. We've already improved. Shout out to Jeff Pittman, our strength and conditioning coach. Man, our guys are gaining, man. We're looking like college men now. You know what I mean? And that's part of the process. So my expectations, man, are just we come out, to put our head down and grind and come out with a tough nosed, smart, skilled football team. We have players that can do things that us Auburn fans haven't, don't even know about because they haven't had the opportunity since they got.
Right.
We got some real live playmakers that and names that people don't know yet that are gonna shock. Not only the Auburn fans, but a lot of our opponents also. So, I expect us to be better from the spring through the summer, and that's it, man. I expect good things to come, man. I know we'll get into expectations for the fall and what we think the season will be like later on, as we progress. But going into the summer, man, I just look for chipping away, getting better and better every day. What about you?
Man, I kind of agree with you on a couple things. I think the biggest thing, two of the biggest things for me is, of course, identity. I think defense is already kind of spoken for itself, but identity on offense, as far as the offensive line, making sure they're strong, but also making sure they're healthy, because we see a lot of times where we see our offensive linemen go down, and offensive linemen is the tightest unit on the team. So like that's we can't afford to have our offensive line be going down, in the middle of the season when like we get into SEC play. So
Right.
I hope they're strong and they're healthy, and they're able to defend, and just having some type of identity as far as the offense. Because I know years we've been at kind of this flip flop. Are we gonna run? Are we gonna be the passing? So I'm like, just have some type of identity. And the next biggest thing for me, I know it's probably many Auburn fans are thinking this. I think the biggest thing for me going into this summer practice is who is going to separate themselves as the leader of the team as far as quarterback. Like, I want to see, what I don't want to kind of see is us going into the beginning of the season and it's like, this guy's kind of, we're going to start him because we think, he kind of.
Yeah, I don't want no two quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't want to see that two quarterback.
And I don't want, and I don't want no three quarterbacks, Gus.
Nah, like, I don't want to see that, we still trying to figure out who's the guy. Like, no, like, I want to know who the definite guy.
Exactly, bro. The whole saying is, if you got two quarterbacks, you ain't got one.
Exactly. And who gonna be the guy to just take the keys, like, and say, yo, this is my team. Like when Cam Newton came on, he was like, since I'm here, I'm taking over. Like, who gonna take the keys?
Our best years, we know we have a proven leader at the quarterback. My first Auburn quarterback that I can never remember was Reggie Schlack.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no doubt, Reggie was the guy. When we have quarterback, competitions and we don't really do too well like that. I like the fact that it was Reggie Schlack, it was Damian Craig, it was Stan White,
Jason
Campbell,
Campbell,
Patrick Hicks. It was Brandon Cox.
Mm-hmm.
It was Jason Campbell. You know what I mean?
Right.
When the years that we really had problems, it was Daniel Cobb. You know what I mean? The years we had problems when we don't know who the quarterback is. It Ben Leard, or it might be what that other boy name?
White.
You know what I'm saying, man? It's Kyle Frazier, or it's Cody Burns. No disrespect to Cody Burns, but it's Cody Burns, or it's Kyle Frazier, or it's Jeremy Johnson, or it's such and such. Nah, man, you gotta come out of summer camp, going into fall camp,
right?
With a quarterback. We gotta pick one. We got rivals. Somebody gotta win that.
Somebody, is y'all listening to this? Somebody take the keys. Somebody go up and take the keys. Like, I don't care. It's open. Like, I don't care who it is. We gotta do it with Bo, TJ, Demetrius.
If it's Bo, that means Bo's got that much better, and he's proved that this is his thing. He's experienced. He's ready to go. If it's TJ, that means they wouldn't have got him for a reason.
Right.
Demetrius, that means everything he was doing down there in Texas was true.
Right. I mean, he the future.
Exactly. The future could very well be now.
Now,
I know one thing. We won't be like, man, he just got to play because of this, because of that. No, it ain't no daddy ties.
Nope.
Ain't no alumni ties. It ain't none of that. That's why I was glad we went way to Idaho, got our coach.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I wanted, we don't have to change the color of the field like boys or none of that.
Oh, yes. Man, when he did that trick, I think it was on April Fool's.
Yeah, I remember you hit me up. You fell.
I said, man, don't play with us.
It didn't look bad though. I would have went with it. I was cool with it.
Man,
it didn't look bad. But you ain't got to change the field. Just change that Under Armour, man. Let's get some Nike. Brian Harsin, if you ever see this, the AD, the SID, a grad assistant, somebody. Let's get out that Under Armour contract.
Right, yeah. This change. I at least want to see, some like a different uniform. Hey, I mean, it ain't got to be too crazy.
We've been wearing the same clothes for 100 years.
Right. And it got to be too crazy. But I mean, switch it up. Kind of switch it up.
Flashiest thing we ever did with Cadillac, them put on black socks all the time. That was
it's them black shoes. And then
hey, they used to look fire too.
Yeah.
Oh, them boys used to be clean with them black socks. Quinn Groves out there, him and Stanley McClover. Ooh,
right.
Boy.
You already knew.
Junior Rose Green. Ooh,
right. It was about to be ugly. Ooh. But then Gene Tizzard came in with, we gonna wear white shoes and white socks with our uniform. It's like, man, ain't nobody gonna take us serious with these white shoes.
Boy, we ain't never seen a man be so up and down so fast. Boy, let's get out. Let's wrap it up before we be
right. We're gonna say that. We're gonna say that episode. We're gonna say that for another show.
Hey, that's just another coach we still paying. That's all.
Yeah, along with another coach that's in Florida now that we
Tubbs, Gene, Gus. We still paying everybody.
I'm tired of paying. Can we just get this one right? Alan Green, I pray that you have gotten this one right. I pray for you because you got some goods to do what you did.
I hope that man get it. I think he got it right.
I think he got it right, man. I think he got it right. Well, hey, thank y'all so much, man, for checking us out. Our first episode, CNT Talking Tigers. Hey, we're going to be back very, very soon, so make sure you check us out. And we'll have much